Good morning, afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on the Mojo Helpdesk Roadmap webinar. We are very excited to have everyone join us today. I could see the attendance still rising, but we are going to proceed and it will be a recorded session. So we will be sending out a copy of the recorded link. That way, those that may have missed it can go ahead and watch at a later time. And I did post a link to the questions on Google Form, but our chat will be open as well. So I will have members of the team managing that throughout. I recognize that the Google Form may not be available for some users, so we want to make sure that we make it available for those that may have some comments and questions along the way. To start, I wanted to, let me move to the next slide. I wanted to start the session with a safe harbor statement because a lot of what we will be discussing today are forward-looking statements. There are risks associated with such, so there may be changes to the way that we deploy these features and updates. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone is aware that we are looking forward to making these updates available with the caveat of the associated risks that may come with that. I'm excited to introduce the Mojo Helpdesk team, as I'm sure you may have interacted with some of us already, most especially Ron, if you're logging tickets with the system. But this is a chance for us to reintroduce ourselves to our existing customers. We are really aiming to make 2023 a groundbreaking year for us to continue to develop the solution, as well as gather feedback from each and every one of you. With that, I will pass it on to our CEO, Daniel, to give us a few words to get us started.
Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel, even though on the picture it says I'm Super Cobra. I'm the founder and CEO of Metadot, which is the company behind Mojo Helpdesk. We started Mojo Helpdesk many years ago now, more than 10 years ago. And now we have an international team based in the US and also in Europe. We have offices in Austin, France, and Germany. And some of us are here today on this call. I'm very happy to have this webinar. That's a long time then we didn't reach out to you guys and share what we were doing. Mojo is here only because we have customers and we are trying to make it, to make the best software we can make and the most useful one. So we always want to hear feedback, suggestions, ideas, things that work well and things that do not work well. We always try to improve and make it right for you guys. I know that Mojo is now used by very large companies, also very small teams, from one or two people in sometimes in a school, for example, up to many hundreds of agents in a bigger university or in a large Fortune 100 company. So it means that Mojo Helpdesk is now a critical part of your organization, and we realize that. So we want to make it even more useful for you guys. And that's why today we are going to see the next features we are going to integrate into Mojo Helpdesk to make this tool a great tool for your business, to make you even more productive and therefore, I guess, more successful and happier in general. At least we'll try that.
Thank you for that, Daniel. And I will give each member of the team a chance to say hi as well. So I'll start with myself. I am June Shafis. I just joined Metadot as their Chief Operations Officer sometime in August of last year. And with me joining in, I'm really excited to collaborate with these team members that you're seeing on the screen today to what Daniel had mentioned, really improve on the solution moving forward. Ron, why don't you introduce yourself?
No, certainly. Hi, I'm Ron Middleton. I am the Customer Service Success Support Manager for Mojo Helpdesk. Been with the company for right at 2 years now. And yeah, as June mentioned, if you've created some questions or issues that you've had with help desk, created tickets on our help desk, likely I'm the one who will reply or help you with that.
Perfect. Eileen?
Hi there, my name is Aileen and I've just joined the team. It's been really exciting so far. It's been so much fun being, thrown into everything. So definitely in my early stages with the company, but I plan on sticking around for a long time. So I'm going to be handling everything marketing related. So a lot of it will be coming from me, but you might not know it's from me. But this is what I'm focusing on. So nice to see everybody. Thank you.
Awesome. And our amazing development leads, Fabian, why don't you get us started?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Fabian. I'm a software engineer working at Metadot for more than 2 years now. I mainly work on the design of the new Mojo experience and on the user experience as well. And I'm very glad to see you all gather here.
Ahmed?
Hey, so I'm Ahmed. So I'm part as well of the software team. I've been focusing on the new Mojo experience with Fabien. So I've been with the Mojo team for 5 years now, and you may have talked to me through tickets already. And also I'm part of the French team. And I'm glad everyone is here today.
Awesome. And finally, Ivailo.
Hey, I am Ivailo. I have been working on Metadot for many years now, being here since the beginning of Mojo Helpdesk. My position is senior software engineer. I cover basically backend, frontend, everything. And I'm glad to present today some new features exciting that we'll be working.
Awesome. Now that you have met the team, obviously, we are excited that we're seeing our existing customers interested in hearing about what we're developing moving forward. The features and updates that we will be explaining today are going to be two-faceted. Some of them are more strategic in nature, and the others are very utilitarian in nature. For all of our updates that we're releasing, it's really covering the 3 stages of the resolution cycle, as we call it, all the way from identifying what that particular ticket or request is, case identification, to assigning it to the correct teams with case assignment, as well as getting those requests and issues resolved, and ultimately getting feedback for what that resolution might have been. Moving ahead, as you listen to the updates that we're sharing with everyone today, these are the key differentiators that we keep top of mind. We want to make sure that we stay true to our roots. The reason why Mojo Helpdesk has been very successful over the last few decades is really our ability to make the solution as simple and as powerful as needed. So that being said, when we create development updates, we're asking ourselves, does it stay true to how fast we want the solution to be? Is it still going to be as quick as a one-day setup for our existing customers? Are our agents and the users that are logging the tickets going to feel like it's still easy for them to log in their tickets and to express their requests without making the solution so convoluted? And at the end of the day, as you all know, one reason why our existing customers stay with us is because we try to keep the cost as low as possible. With that, the ROI can be felt across multiple divisions and departments. As I've done assessments with customers myself, what I realize is it really starts with, one key department that gets, that becomes happy with a solution. And next thing you know, there's hundreds of other agents that they deploy the solution to. So these are the 4 things that we stay aligned with as we release additional updates and features for the solution. These are the feature updates that we're going to release going into Q1. So Q1 for us will be all the way through the end of March. As you can see, we will discuss this in more detail in the following slides. We want these updates to cover what I mentioned earlier, the case identification, assignment, resolution, and feedback loop, so that we give you the best updates going into the new year. And as another caveat, we will be creating a mechanism into Q2 and Q3 so that whatever updates we're providing for Q2 and Q3, you can give us some feedback, whether that would be helpful for you, but I'll review that in more detail a little bit later. For our Q1 updates, I'm going to highlight the top 5 updates that we will be releasing. So the first one is, a very utilitarian feature, giving you the ability to recover tickets within a particular time period. Evilo will be giving us some use cases as to why this might be helpful for our customers.
Yeah, sure. As you may be aware, you can delete tickets, and in Mojo currently, once you delete a ticket, it's not possible to restore it back. So that's why we are going to implement a trash functionality where actually when you delete a ticket, it will not be actually deleted, but move to the trash, where it can stay for a certain period of time and then be automatically purged from there. So that way we will give chance if somebody make a mistake, deleting single ticket or making the wrong search and selecting bunch of tickets and delete, to quickly fix the mistake by restoring from the trash.
Simple enough. I'm excited about this one because I have had conversations with a few customers that have requested this personally. The next feature is allowing the users to provide comments to the resolution on top of the 5-star rating that's available to you today. Ron, you probably are the most in touch with our help desk today. Give us a little bit of context on this.
Yeah, so currently the Mojo rating system, if you have it turned on your help desk, it allows ticket requesters, once a ticket is closed, it allows them to rate their service they received or the ticket responses, if you will, only by a star rating system, 1 to 5. And currently it doesn't give really any additional comments or ability for the user to explain why they may have rated a ticket a 1 or what they really liked about the service they received from the agent. So then they rated it 5. So we will be adding some additional abilities for the user to add comments or more of a description around why they rated the ticket the way they did. That should help agents improve performance or figure out, what deficiencies they have to work on.
Thank you for that. The third feature, I've seen our developers work on this over the last few weeks, and this is going to be helpful for organizations across the globe. And this is what we would call the business hours and service level agreements to help set clear response time expectations based on your operating hours and your preferences. Ahmed, I know that you have some use cases, some key things that you wanted to share with the team as well.
Yes. So basically the service level agreement will be an agreement on the amount of time a ticket should be answered to and resolved. So this feature, we say also business hours because an office may, for example, close at 5, open at 8 the next morning, and if a ticket is open at 4, we will not count the time between 5 and the next morning. So a good use case would be, for example, we say that the technical issues will be answered in 3 hours, and the billing issues will be answered in 7 hours. And we'll hope we'll give the right tools to the managers and the agents to respect these targets that we set for the responses.
Awesome. And if you do have comments or questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Moving ahead, The next one will be asset visibility, and it's adding granular permission to those that are using our asset management platform. Fabian, can you share a few use cases, some examples where this might be helpful as we've received some of these requests in the past?
Yes. So right now, when using asset management add-ons, you cannot specify to whom the asset is made for. So for instance, when the asset is enabled into your ticket form, your contacts and your staff have access to the same selections when creating a ticket. So this feature will allow you to customize your asset visibility needs for either your non-login user, your contacts, or for your staff. So this way, when creating a ticket, a non-login user or staff or your contact member will be able to select only assets matching your settings.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Fabian. Moving ahead, this is a feature that I've come across a few times in my conversations with the ones that I've had, you know, the fortunate way to communicate with. Role-based access control. This has been a popular request among our existing customers. And Ivailo, can you share some ways that this could be useful for the rest of the ones that are on the call as well?
Yeah, sure. So currently we have all these predefined roles that are the same, always the same, and each role has certain permissions to do certain actions. What we are going to implement is we will itemize all the actions for each existing system role, and we'll make them available to create for our customers to create custom roles. And that way make a specific set of access, a list of access actions for a certain role. For example, you could have a role like a support coordinator, which basically will have access to tickets to change some of the date of the tickets, post eventually a staff note, but to not be able to answer actually the ticket creator or the customers. Or you can have a role like operation agents, which will not be able to work on tickets and do anything on them, but can manage certain aspects of the help desk, like, for example, managing ticket queues or ticket forms. Or like is in the slide, you might have a restricted agents that will be given, a role of a restricted agents that will also have access to certain reports. And that way you can have a list of much larger list of custom roles for your specific needs.
Thank you for that. And here are other Q1 features that we are working on. As you can see, a couple of them are already live, and I know a few of them are farther along in the development cycle and are closer to completion. I'm really excited about all of the updates that we're working on in Q1. There's, like I mentioned earlier, there's little wiggle room for us to make changes to our Q1 features. However, for Q2 and Q3 features, we are in the process of developing a platform or working with a platform that we can publish to our existing customers. So we can post all of these features that we're going to be talking about moving into Q2 and Q3. And our goal is to get feedback from our users, the ones that are actively in the solution day in and day out, to give us feedback as to whether that is helpful or not. That will likely be released in April. First week, second week of April at the latest. We're going to have some way to communicate with our base so that all of these features that we're going to be talking about, you can tell us if this is going to be helpful for you or not. And again, the Q2 and Q3 updates that I'm going to be talking about moving forward. These can be a little bit flexible based on how we hear from each one of you. If we can make that available to you, that feedback mechanism available to you sooner, we will definitely work on that. I'm just going to check the chat for a second. Yes, thank you for catching me there, Daniel. So, perfect. Moving on. One of the key features that we have been talking about for Q2 is the cloning a ticket. It's creating duplicate tickets to address a similar issue, question, or request. And this feature will be closely related to feature 2 that I will be talking about as well. Ron, can you give us a few example use cases that this could be helpful for?
Yeah, certainly. So cloning a ticket, right now you have the ability to, if you create a ticket form, you have the ability to clone a ticket form. However, currently there's not an option to be able to clone a ticket or create a new ticket with the exact same information that you may have had in a previous ticket. It comes in handy when you have the same type of request over and over and over from different users. So yeah, we think the ability to clone a ticket could be very helpful as well.
And leading into feature 2, which is the recurring tickets, automatically creating tickets that are repetitive tasks, could be, per week, per month, every 6 months. It's closely related to cloning a ticket, just that this one, it's preemptive. You already know that these things need to happen on a regular basis. That way, nothing slips through the cracks. Feature 3 is the auto task trigger. It's creating a task within a ticket with the help of our Mojo bot. And Fabian, I'd like you to help me explain some key aspects of this feature.
Yeah, sure. So currently, when adding tasks over tickets, it's a manual process. So when it comes to 10, 20, or 50 tasks, it can be very time consuming and very boring to set it up for each ticket. So that is why we are going to extend what we call currently our Mojo bot. So this way, depending on certain rules, a task will be automatically generated.
Thank you. And Fabian, I know that you can talk through incident management as well, which would be managing a group of similar issues that are logged into any help desk within Mojo.
Yes. So, for example, in the case of a big issue, let's say a power outage, which impact all of your contacts because your website is down and they cannot finalize the order they were making, it will generate hundreds of tickets referring to the same issue, which you are certainly aware of. As a consequence, it will take time to answer and it will break your statistics. So that is why this feature comes up. It will let your contact know about an issue before the ticket creation. This way, we will prevent the ticket from being opened.
I can think of ways that this could be helpful for some of the customers that I've spoken with over the last few months. And finally, one of the key features in Q2 that we're working on is to allow multiple agents to perform multiple tasks within one ticket. It's really moving over some of the business process management functionality into Mojo Helpdesk. Ahmed, give us a little bit of color on this one.
Yeah, so this feature is for big tickets. And when I say big tickets, it's for tickets that involve more than one task or more than one agent. So a good example would be when we hire someone new in the company, there is a lot of things to do. For example, do the paperwork, set up some accounts, and one ticket can have all these subtasks. So for example, for the HR agent, we will handle all the paperwork sub-tickets. And for the IT agent, we'll handle all the account setup for the new hire.
I'm sure some folks would be excited about this feature. And moving ahead into the other Q2 features that we are working on, I will not read them one by one. We will be sharing this deck with those that have registered for the event. And we will also be sending out a copy of this recording. Going into Q3, and the reason why we end at Q3 is we wanted to create a mechanism where we're actively developing Q1 through Q3, and we're spending October to December to really plan for the following year, even though there may still be development work happening during those months, but we just wanted to share that with y'all. So canned responses pagination, it's very easy. It's really giving you the ability to sort through your canned responses. This is particularly helpful for those who have a really large help desk agent count. So if you have hundreds of agents with us and you would like to be able to sort through the canned responses easier, we are going to release this feature sometime soon. The currency field in asset management is to allow currency types for the cost field in the asset management portal. Evilo, if you can help me explain what use cases this would be very helpful for.
Well, currently there is a field cost for the assets, and it's a just integer field or number field. So what we're going to do is to extend that type of field to a currency field, which will include the type of the currency as well. So if you use dollars, it will be US dollars. If you use pounds, yen, or whatever it is, you will be able to set the costs in your currency.
Thank you. And I am reading some of the comments in the chat. Agree with Scott on more robust analytics and reporting, ability to query the dashboard using more available criteria. This is good feedback for us. Would be excited to learn more about how you're using the reporting today. I know I've had those conversations with a few customers, but I see that Daniel have responded to that as well. Just wanted to recognize that, Barry. Thank you. The third feature is very utilitarian in nature, really just allowing to play a .wav file without having to download it first. I think that's fairly self-explanatory. I know that it can be quite cumbersome to have to download quite a bit if they're voicemails or some type of recording from a warehouse that you would like to play easier. The fourth feature for Q3 is the detailed ticket view. It's allowing for viewing tickets in a ticket list. Fabian, I know that this is something that we had in the classic UI. Can you talk to us more about this?
Yes, so this feature is coming up because the issue of the current view is there is a maximum of ticket attributes that we can see, up to 6. So when you look for a particular information, you need to go to the ticket detail screen, so which is not pretty useful. So what we are going to do is do like the classic UI and add another ticket view, a ticket list view. So with more detail and more information, of course.
Thank you. And finally, the calendar integration to allow users to schedule time with an agent or help desk calendar so that they can have a live conversation for those requests that require, you know, an actual FaceTime to get to resolution. Ron, you're most in touch with our help desk. Like I mentioned earlier, talk through some of the ways that this can be helpful.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, we currently actually use this type of setup with our demonstration calls. So on our website, there is a link that it actually connects to my personal calendar. It just makes it easier to schedule a meeting or call with somebody without having to go back and forth. What time works best for you? What time this time doesn't work for me? In this function, it would give them a link to basically an agent's calendar to say, these are the times I'm free, please schedule a time. And it will add an item, a meeting agenda on your calendar as well at the same time.
Perfect. And I'm just going to reference Barry. I'll make only one more request. You don't have a limit, Barry. Ability to export search result into CSV, Excel, or any external format. And it was seconded by Aaron. So these are all good stuff. This is why we wanted to host a webinar for our roadmap, so we can have this type of interaction with our existing users. We'll definitely take a look at that. Oh, so Aaron says, I like the scheduling within the ticket. We have to do that a lot via Calendly right now. Okay, that's good validation that we're on the right track. Thank you for that, Aaron. And here are other Q3 features that we are working on adding to that list. It's a little bit farther out, but again, we are flexible. We want to make sure that we are hearing all of our customers out and really having a majority of our customers benefit from the updates that we're releasing. And I could see that we have about 86 participants to the call. So that was we actually had quite a bit of acceptance to this webinar. And I think some of them might have had something come up last minute. But with that, I'd like to ask each one of you a question. And I know it might flood the chat, but I would rather that. Out of everything that we have discussed today, which feature are you most excited about? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of additional requests, and I'm gonna make sure that we copy this over so that we capture these requests. But while I do that, I'd like to hear from all the participants. If you can type in the chat, if there's anything that okay, I love that we reviewed that you're excited about. Calendar integration, role-based access control, automated ticket generation, trash functionality. Okay, I love this. Cloning tickets, business hours, calendar. I think we're getting a lot of hits on the calendar. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Anthony's excited for it all. Thank you, Anthony. All right. I'm happy. This is good. This is good feedback. And one thing that I wanted to do before we wrap up, for those that are willing to participate, if you could turn your videos on, and we would like to take a Mojo family picture. Jessica, are you opposed to it? I'm not opposed. Okay, let's see. This is family for us. You're the ones that are putting food on our table, so to speak. So thank you so much for hopping on. Let me see what I can do to change my view. And that's the end. So I'm going to stop sharing right then and there. Let's see what our view looks like. There you are. Okay, I'm going to close this to get a bit more screen. And give me your biggest smile. Let me print screen. Sheila, can you help me with this? Can you do a print screen for us?
Sure, I can.
Okay, take a couple, okay? Thank you.
Okay. Just let me get ready to it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. And
Did
then
we
we're
get it?
going, yes, I got it. And then
Okay.
we need to scroll to the right. So just make sure that you keep on smiling because I don't know where you are on the screen. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right.
I stopped
I'll move
breathing
on
as
to.
well for some reason. I don't know why I do that. But
There's
everybody,
another. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I
There's
think
another
there's
screen.
another screen.
Okay,
Okay.
let's get them.
One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, we're done. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. We will be sending out the recording and the deck as well. For those that may not have been able to make it, please feel free to forward a copy of the deck and a copy of the recording as well. Thank you. Have a great Tuesday.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, that was nice. Thank you, Barry.